Things like our construction methods are set at what we call the system level. This means they're the standard, and each new job that we start will use that information. There's some other system level things such as materials, hardwares and doors and stuff like that. Throughout this lesson we're going to use our construction method. However, you will notice some things like materials will have similar buttons next to them that you can do much of the same thing. We'll take a look at each level and how we can either modify or change the construction method at different locations. We start at a system level, we then move to a job level, a room level, and finally down to a cabinet level. When you start a new job in Cabinet Vision, the system level settings are passed into that job level. From this level, you can either select an entirely different construction method, or even select our modify for this job. You'd then be able to make a few changes to that construction method for this one single job. Further down this line, you can make the very same changes at the room level. And finally, we can even make the change to the construction method that we're using at cabinet level. So let's say, for example, we're drawing this handler's kitchen. However, I have this reverse cabinet that doesn't need to be set up for handlers. It'll just have a tip on. So I'd like to change it back to my standard style of cabinet. To do this, I double click into the cabinet, go to the Section tab, select Construction, and then I can change over my construction method to my standard construction method. Changes made at any level will only affect that level and will have no effect on the system level settings unless you wish them to. Changes made in one job will not affect any other jobs, and changes made in one room will have no effect on any other room. In the same way, a change made to one single assembly won't have an effect on another assembly, all the way down to your parts. So changing something on this part will not affect any other parts of the job. When Cabinet Vision's looking for instructions, it'll start at the lowest possible level and look its way up until it finds the instructions it needs. So let's say we've made a modification at room level. You're going to drag a cabinet out, it's going to look at itself, not find the instructions it needs, look up to the room level, and it'll see the modified room construction method. It'll know to use this and not need to look up to the job level to find those instructions. Have a play around with that. Once you're feeling confident with those locations, we'll move over to our final lesson on construction methods and just have a look at a few little things that we can change within the construction methods to set up a few little things like your shelves.